Javier Moreno over here, and today I'll be talking about the chapter number 10, which is called Pragmatics. And what is Pragmatics? Well, Pragmatics is the invisible meaning of a sentence and how we are able to recognize what is said or written in something. How we can recognize that we are talking about the meaning A instead of the meaning B of something. Inside Pragmatics, there are several aspects to discuss. First, we can discuss about context. There are two types of context. First, we have the physical context. In the physical context, it is referred to the set of words that can be placed in some physical locations, such as buildings, letters, charts, etc. And also the code text or the linguistic context. In this one, we have to pay close attention to the other words of a sentence in order to understand a specific word. Also, we can discuss about deixis. Deixis is referred that in the human language, there are several words that without a context, they can't be understood. For example, the pronouns. There is a variation of the deixis, which is called deictics. In deictics, we use it in the face-to-face interaction because these deictics are used to point to some things, to sign to something, and it is very related with the demonstrative pronouns. For example, above you, besides you, here, there, things that without a face-to-face interaction we wouldn't understand. Also in Pragmatics we can talk about reference and inference. In reference, it is referred to we use language in order to name something or call something, and the listener is going to understand if we use a proper noun, a common noun, and he or she is going to give a meaning to what we are saying. And also inference is the ability that the listener has in order to understand our reference. We can continue talking about anaphora. When we are communicating with a person or when we are writing something, first we mention the things, we call them, we use nouns, and then to avoid repetition, we can substitute these words, nouns, to another variations or to maybe pronouns. This is called antecedent and anaphora relationship. First we mention the nouns and then we mention the pronouns. We can also mention something called presumptions. That is, in order to our listener understand what we are saying, we have to adapt our information in order to this person understand what we are trying to say. We are trying to use previous information that we know and our listener is going to understand. Finally, we have what is called politeness. In politeness, it is very referred that we have to take very care and we have to be aware that what we say can hurt the other person's feelings, and we also can threat the person and hurt them. So that will be all for the Pragmatics chapters. So one more thing. Well, there is another thing that I forgot to mention, and it is called a speech act. In a speech act, it is referred that every statement, everything, every sentence that we say, it has a purpose. Why we are saying that? There are many types of purposes. The request purpose, the clarity purpose, the questioning purpose, etc. So everything has a purpose. And there are many things to say. We can say in a polite way or in an unpolite way. There is a direct speech act and the indirect speech act. Thanks.